Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Tanvi, and today we are gonna be painting. There's nothing like painting by yourself. Today I'm drinking Moscato, just because I was in the mood for something really sweet. I really wanted to create a space for myself where I could take my mind off of the stresses of life and just sit down and paint. I used to paint a lot when I was a kid, like all kids. And I just remember it being so much fun. I'm not like a good painter, but I remember not being that bad at it. Today I'm gonna be attempting to paint this picture that I saw on Earth. Wait, that sounds so stupid. I follow Earth on Instagram, and they just post, if you don't know, they just post like the most beautiful pictures. So I'm painting a picture inspired by Fame is Fickle Food. She has like such gorgeous pictures, and they're all like pastel. So this one is based off of a shot of like a mountain range and also like a sun setting. It's so pretty. I bought a lot of colors from Michaels. We love Michaels. So I'll put right here what I'm trying to paint. And I'm gonna start off by creating like a sketch of it. I painted my glasses for this. I just made my first mistake. I think that's the right place for the sun. Oh, this is not where it was supposed to be. Well, this is just gonna be my inspiration. It's not an actual recreation. Okay. Now I'm drawing the little lake at the bottom. I don't understand how nature is just so perfect. Like, there are no mistakes. Everything's just perfection. Okay, so this is my sketch. It's gonna look better when there's paint. So it looks like I'm gonna start with some white. Neon pink. I don't know what's gonna happen with this. Just need a little. Whenever I'm sketching out a painting, I never remember that I need to like make my pencil marks really dim, or else you're gonna be able to see them. Oh wow. Okay. I created like the pink sky, and now I'm gonna add in like the clouds from the sunset. But there's very minimal, like it's a very minimal change. I don't know how artists artist because this is really hard. Yeah. It's like in the distance. I'm hoping that this turns out great and that the universe is on my side and it somehow makes this work out. Pronoia. I was actually recently like informed of that term. It's actually really like changed the way that I've thought about my life over the past few months. I'm not saying that I've changed as a person, but I definitely look at things differently. Paranoia is the belief, and I think this is straight from Google because I've told a couple friends about it. It's the belief that the universe is conspiring for you, like in your benefit, instead of, you know, paranoia. Not in the way of like actual paranoia, but so like disclaimer, Paranoia as in thinking like the universe is conspiring against you, which is really what like my mindset used to be. But instead of that like way of thinking, it's really interesting to think about, you know, what if the universe is conspiring in your benefit? Like for the longest time, I considered myself super unlucky, like super unlucky. Like obviously I've had like a privileged life, like, you know, my parents were able to support me growing up and I always had food and everything. So in that aspect, definitely lucky. But just in like the universe aspect, I always used to think that I'm so unlucky. For example, like I have the funniest, most embarrassing stories because the craziest stuff happens to me, dude. The craziest stuff. For instance, I was studying abroad in London and I became obsessed with Pret. So I would go Pret-a-Manger. I would go all the time, almost every single day. And one day we had this like exam and I was really stressed out and like it was already like not the best day because, you know, we had like either a midterm or like a final exam, and you know, I probably wasn't paying attention in class, so I wasn't ready. And so I was like, I'm gonna treat myself with like Pret, and this time I'm gonna get an appetizer, meaning like a little boxed like salad, an actual sandwich. I liked their tuna a lot, a dessert, and then also a drink. And I never got drinks because, you know, might as well save on that, not spend that much money for a drink when you can drink water. And I was like, yes, I'm gonna buy all of this stuff and it's gonna be great, and then I'll be in like a better mood and maybe I'll have like luck for the test. Well, unfortunately, that's a lot of stuff to carry, especially when you have like a backpack and a purse and your phone and your keys. It's a lot of stuff to carry. And I'm like 5 feet tall. I'm quite short. And that day it was just like so crowded. Like, I don't know why. Like normally there weren't that many people inside that Pret, so it was fine. And I also get like kind of nervous when I'm like ordering or when I'm, I don't know. And also like my card in London, it's not contactless, you know? So like you always have to sign. And I was getting kind of like nervous about that, and I was standing in a long line, and I finally get to the front. And it's been a while, like I've been carrying this stuff for a long time. And I bring it up and the counter is so high up, like I can barely look over it. And I bring it up and I almost make it, but boom, I drop the Coke and it actually explodes and it starts spewing everywhere. And mind you, there are a lot of people in that Pret and everyone starts freaking out. I have Coke all over me, but I don't realize it yet. There's this man right behind me. He was wearing like a really fancy suit. Like we were in South Kensington, which is like the posh part of town. So like these people were like fancy. And this man clearly had like a lot of important stuff to do that day. He was dressed up. He just wanted to get a quick bite to eat. But no, literally he had Coca-Cola like all over the front of his shirt. Like his white button down was, it's not funny, it's actually really embarrassing. His white button down was just like soaked and like brown and murky, and he literally grabbed like 10 bananas and he like tried to cover himself with the bananas because I don't know how that would help. Meanwhile, my friend, who's like 3 people behind me, she has Coke on her face, and I'm just like, I pick up the Coke can and I'm just like running around and I don't know what to do with it because it's literally still spewing, and it was just so embarrassing. And the people who worked there, they were like, what just happened? But they were so nice and like they didn't mind. They gave me another Coke, like I didn't have to pay for that one. And that was really nice of them, for sure. But I was just like so embarrassed, and like I was like, how can I ever come back to this prep ever again? I went back the next day, of course, because I love prep, but I was like, why did that happen to me? And I know that this isn't like the worst thing that could ever happen to you, but it's really embarrassing. And after that experience, the first thing that comes to my mind is I have the worst luck. And that's just one of the stories. There are so many other stories. I don't know, I used to just be so negative, and I'm on a journey to change that. I'm on a journey to think, oh, if something doesn't go as planned, it's okay. Like, it's all right, because maybe it wasn't supposed to be like that. I think though, the biggest reason the idea of Pronoia has kind of like resonated with me and kind of has stuck with me is because I'm like a recent college grad and I went to school in Boston. But when I tell you I never ever wanted to go to school in Boston beforehand, that I can't stress that enough. I never wanted to go to Boston. I wanted to go to college in New York or in LA, nowhere else. So I actually applied early decision to my dream school. It was for singing and basically like making music. I even went to like a summer program. I thought like for sure I had like a fighting chance. I didn't know if I would get in or not, but I thought I definitely have a chance, right? Because I literally went to the summer program. Well, I didn't get in. I was really sad. Like, I was like, what does this mean? And looking back on all of that, that was like the best thing that could have happened to me. But like, I didn't know that. At the time, I was really mad at the universe. But if I hadn't gone to the school in Boston, I wouldn't have met my friends. I got to travel the world, well, Europe. Studied abroad twice. I wouldn't have had the same experiences. I even wrote a song about how I didn't get into my dream school. It's called Waiting on a Dream, which is kind of a cliche title, but I think it's a good song. I'll link it down below if you want to take a listen. But that is like my prime example to myself about like, hey, maybe I should stop being so negative when things on the surface don't go as planned. Because I don't know what the bigger picture is. I can't see it yet. So I'm just gonna do my thing, let the universe do its thing, and hopefully the universe is conspiring in my favor. It's so funny because I have some travel stories and I hope to one day make travel vlogs, you know, when the world opens up again. I think it's so funny the way travel works sometimes because everything could go wrong. Most of the time that's when you get those stories you can tell all of your friends after, all your family after. Those are the stories you take with you. So like, for instance, me and my friend, we were both studying abroad. So we wanted to meet up in Brussels. So we went for a weekend. And we also wanted to take like a little day trip to Luxembourg, which is super possible to do. Like you just take a train. It's super easy. But we went in the fall and we really wanted to check out some castles, but we didn't know like which ones, and we hadn't really like planned it. It was kind of just like a last minute idea. And we saw that there was this like castle in this town called Vienten. I'm definitely not saying that correctly, I'm so sorry. But we unfortunately didn't know how to get there at all. Like we just couldn't figure it out. So we got onto this train, just like a random train, I think going to like the capital, Luxembourg City. And there was stops along the way. And finally we were like, let's just get off the train, like, and explore. So we looked at the map, and none of the maps said Vianden, but like the tracks and the map kind of looked like the area near Vianden. So we just got off. I wouldn't recommend that, but low-key I would recommend that. Like, kind of not smart, like it could have gone wrong, but it's okay. Like, it was in the middle of the day. If it was the wrong thing to do, we could have gotten onto another train back to Brussels and it would have been fine. But instead, we just got off like randomly in Luxembourg. And we were just like, what are we supposed to do? And then I saw a bus in the distance that said like this stop near Vianden, just like randomly. Like, we did not plan that at all. So we just ran like so fast. It was really far away. Not really, but like, I don't like running. So even if you're like 30 feet away, that's too far. Like, that's like a mile. We ran, we finally got there, and we were about to leave, but he let us on. We didn't have coins. Like, I think we did not have enough coins, or you needed exact change or something, and we did not have that, but the guy was really nice. And we got on, and he was like, yeah, this goes to Vianden. And we were like, oh my God, we're gonna go to the castle. And we got off, and we got to the town with the castle, and it was so pretty. We had some like delicious crepes for lunch, and it was like a spur of the moment thing, and it worked out because the universe was conspiring in our favor. No, I'm kidding. Well, I'm not kidding. I'm on to the mountains now. I wonder why I picked a picture with so many like colors that are literally so close together, but like there's not that much of a difference between the two colors yet. The difference is actually what makes the different mountain ranges stand out, the different shades of gray and blue. This didn't even change colors at all. Blue and black. Painting update. I'm not gonna let you see it for too long because it's not that good, but now all I need to add in are like the black trees. The evergreen trees, I should say. I'm just gonna go in and literally make this all green. Did you really paint if you don't have paint all over your hands? No, you did not. But we'll see. I'm not gonna judge it until it's done. And I'm trying to emulate evergreen trees. Maybe the key is to make this more pink. I still can't see the sun. I actually think I can see it now. I think I'm done. Here it is. Thank you for watching this paint and sip with me and letting me talk about Pronoia versus Paranoia and how I'm trying to introduce that idea into my life. I hope you enjoyed painting with me. I hope to do more of these. If you like cooking videos, fashion, food vlogs, and travel, hit the subscribe button down below. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.